Just going back to the van to get changed.
Yeah.
So why did you need to get changed? What happened on that route that you're not going to tell us about? Come on.
It was muddy.
Yeah?
It was muddy.
Did you slip on your arse?
Maybe.
Describe the scene to us.
Well, literally.
Not you falling over.
No.
No.
I think where you left me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look at the timestamp between when you left me and actually what time I got to the site, right?
So how much?
Despite the mishaps, their day continued with a visit to one of the town's most iconic landmarks, the Lovelock Bridge over Weir Bridge. The bridge, adorned with an estimated 10,000 padlocks, stood as a symbol of love and commitment, with couples from all over the world attaching locks to commemorate special events or anniversaries.
90% of the bridge is made up of padlocks. Phil and Vicky.
Yeah.
Let's read some names out, shall we? The Ushers. Joe and Irene.
That is compact, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's this?
As the day drew to a close, Brendan and Steve decided to head to Weaver Hills in Ashbourne, a location known for its scenic beauty and tranquil surroundings, to spend the night. However, what they had anticipated as a peaceful night under the stars quickly took a turn for the worse.
Place, most of which are positive, may I add. Apparently, some of the locals aren't too happy about people parking here. For whatever reason, I don't know.
Brendan was aware that the locals were not particularly fond of people camping in the area, but he had assumed that their van would be an exception. He would soon learn that this assumption was a mistake. The seemingly serene spot they had chosen to park their van held more secrets than they had anticipated.
But I can guarantee you it's probably something to do with rubbish, and that rubbish most probably has nothing to do with van lifers. But
after enjoying a hearty meal, complete with the Bakewell tart for dessert, Steve bid Brendan goodnight and retired to his van. They had parked beside an asphalt road, where the occasional passing vehicle was not unusual.
Rolling past from time to time, but nothing that's going to be concerning us too much. I think get the bed set up, and
It was around midnight when Brendan was jolted awake by the sound of movement outside his van. Startled, he listened intently, realizing that someone or something was outside. Steve, who had also been alerted by the noise, stepped out of his van, and together they decided to investigate. The eerie stillness of the night made the situation all the more unnerving as they searched for the source of the disturbance.
someone was just outside. You alright, mate?
Yeah. And there's a car. Did you have it as well?
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you, mate. There's a car thinking about a bed. It must have been. They would keep by the van. I don't know what he's doing up there. He's the one
Hang on.
worrying me a little bit.
Yeah, hang on.
He's got something to say.
What time is it?
You stay away from my van.
Honestly, when I heard that car go past, what were they doing?
No, we've got some up there, a big spotlight on. He's our problem. Things just driving backwards and forwards. If you look, he's definitely got a light on there. He's sitting up there. Is there something up there?
That scared the living daylights out of me.
Well, I just banged the roof, I did.
Jesus.
The question loomed large. Could someone be stalking them? The idea seemed far-fetched, but the circumstances were increasingly suspicious. Steve, who had accidentally banged his head on the roof of his van in his haste, caught a glimpse of a vehicle nearby. Though they couldn't make out who was inside, the presence of the vehicle at such an odd hour only heightened their unease.
Like Ford Connect van.
Well, why is he just stood there or sat there like stalking?
If you look here, if you stand here, right, you can just see one line. If I move to the...
As they continued to investigate, the car, or another one, suddenly sped away, as if the driver had realized that Brendan and Steve were aware of their presence. The mysterious vehicle disappeared into the night, leaving the duo to ponder the strange encounter. While it could have been a harmless passerby, Steve couldn't shake the feeling that something more sinister was at play. After all, what reason could someone have for driving through such a remote area at that time of night?
That Land Rover,
Yeah. Right.
they're playing music as well.
Okay, they saw me. I saw them. What I will say is we're here, right?
Yeah.
Look at the distance between the farm, right? That's a fair way, that is.
Yeah.
And it's round a bend as well, so... We're looking at it from here. The light's gone off. Right.
So what would that light have been then?
That would have been a vehicle, mate. I've got to be honest, like, because that farm's quite a way away. Now, we've had another vehicle. Look, mate, look at the time, what time it is, right? You're not going to just get anybody coming down here, are you?
Despite the unsettling experience, Brendan and Steve remained undeterred. They returned to their vans, determined to get some rest. Whatever had occurred that night, they refused to let it ruin their adventure. The rest of the night passed without incident, and Brendan continued to document their journey, uploading more videos to his channel, proving that they had survived the ordeal unscathed.
At least if they'd have stopped and just said something, because we were outside the vehicles, it might have just given us a bit more of an inkling of what their intention was, but try and settle in again for the second time tonight. All right, mate.
It's safe to say Brendan and Steve stayed and continued their camping because they were male, and also they were too. Now, what would have been the fate of a female camper in these circumstances? In November 2020, Dr. Hannah Straight, a YouTuber known for her outdoor adventures, embarked on a solo camping trip deep in the wilderness. While she was sleeping in her camper van, she was abruptly awakened by unsettling noises. Something, or someone, had approached her vehicle in the dead of night, stealthily opened the door, and wreaked havoc on her campsite. Her once neatly organized area was now in disarray. The door of her camper was ajar, a bin had been overturned, and its lid was nowhere in sight. The contents of the bin, mostly food supplies, were scattered all over the ground, leaving her campsite in complete chaos. If this could happen, then she isn't safe.
So I wasn't even going to record this video, but I honestly can't even comprehend what I saw last night. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm not going to disclose where because I don't want a million people coming out here trying to figure out what I possibly saw. I was sleeping, dead asleep last night above my cab. All of a sudden, I heard something rummaging through my cab. I was trying to be super quiet, super still. I didn't want to move because I didn't know what was in the back of my cab. Something on camera, like what this potentially might be. I don't have the greatest equipment for night shooting because I don't typically shoot at night, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I have multiple forms of protection. I don't know. We're gonna check out and see what happens. It's getting dark. This is a switch I'm gonna use if I see whatever it was lurking in the woods. I'm gonna flip the lights on, turn the camera on, and hopefully I can get it on camera. Well, I didn't get much sleep last night for obvious reasons because I had an unidentified creature crawling around in the cab of my truck. And tonight, I want to stay up all night so I can potentially catch it on camera.
Hannah knew she couldn't just spend another night holed up in her van, so she decided to act and be on the lookout, waiting for the bipedal beast to appear again. Maybe the beast wasn't going to reveal itself, but Hannah wasn't the one to give up easily.
It's been about 3 hours and I haven't seen or heard anything, but I'm gonna keep waiting. Still waiting around, haven't seen or heard anything. It's getting kinda late.
Being in the middle of nowhere makes spotting things in the dark difficult. Luckily, she'd brought night vision trail cameras to record everything, and when she scrubbed through the footage, she found what she'd been looking for.
I don't know what that thing was, but that was insane. I've never seen anything like that creature.
She knew her life was in danger. She'd never seen anything like that creature before. It was just ripping through the woods.
door. It's just ripping through the woods. It is terrifying and I need to get out of here right now. I gotta go. This is insane. I gotta shut this off.
She knew her life was in danger. She'd never seen anything like that creature before. It was just ripping through the woods. But if you thought that was terrifying, as she said, then you haven't watched what another YouTuber recorded in 2021. Hannah's adventure pales in comparison to what an Australian YouTuber from the channel Field Day faced. Intrigued by a friend's tale of a haunted cave, this man decided to challenge the legend head-on. What he encountered in that cave was something far more terrifying than just a few strange noises in the night.
Me about it, and he said to me, "You will not go and sleep in that cave." And I was like, "Yes, I will." So here we are.
Determined to prove his bravery and daring spirit, this Australian man set out to explore a notorious cave known for its haunted reputation. People actually do several things for clout, but sleeping inside a haunted cave isn't one to dare, and he will understand that very soon.
Weird ghost activities or something like that. I'm gonna push myself to the limit to stay in this cave as long as I possibly can until something like physically hurts me, touches me, and then I'm crawling my ass out.
In a move that seemed both reckless and foolhardy, he arrived at the cave without even a basic supply of water, further emphasizing his commitment to pushing the limits. His decision to undertake such a risky venture was clearly motivated by a desire to confront the unknown, despite the cave's menacing reputation.
Bag. So I'm not bringing any water on this mission with me. I would have been walking for probably three and a half hours now. My mouth is completely dried up. Look at this. My spit, my saliva is actually white and fluffy. So I'm getting dehydrated, I'm getting thirsty already. I've done this for a purpose. In 90% of the time, a cave will have water hidden somewhere in a pocket down the back. Usually the sun isn't there to evaporate the water. So hopefully what I'm guessing or hoping is we can go into the cave, we can use that flint, start a fire, boil up a little bit of water, purify the water, I'll be able to have a drink. If not, it's not the end of the world, I can go.
Like many underground caves, this one was a claustrophobic's nightmare, with narrow, dark passages and oppressive, confined spaces.
Cave, I don't reckon anyone's ever slept in it before, but this is it. This is the entrance to the bedroom for the night, and it is not what I expected.
As he descended deeper into the cave, he set up camp and began preparing lunch. However, his seemingly calm demeanor was about to be shattered by unsettling occurrences that would test his courage far beyond his expectations.
8:36 at night. Two noises which I've heard, which completely, the second noise, I had goosebumps from my head to toes. I'm talking a sound I've never heard it before in my entire life. It had to have been a bat, it had to be something, but it's just not, it's just something I've never heard before. Very strange sound. The first one was a rock falling. Way over there somewhere there was a rock which it just sort of like, it just rolled for ages and then it sort of just hit another rock on the bottom. But the second sound, I froze, man. I was like frozen, like I couldn't move. I was just waiting for something just to like whack me. It's just strange, very strange feeling in here.
But that was just the start of what he would experience in the cave. Just as he was enjoying his dinner, he heard another scary sound of the chain he used to climb into the cave. But now he could hear the chain swinging violently. What made this especially scary was that there was no wind to move the chain, and he'd come here alone.
Beans. In a haunted cave. Oh my God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God. You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Holy shit. That's not normal, dude. Well, I'm freaking out.
This isn't about someone trying to get inside the cave, because if that's the reason, the chain will swing the entire way. However, this isn't swinging, but moving rapidly and then stopping all of a sudden. This guy's courage failed. It even failed him, but there was no escape route. He had to go through the chain, which is a Herculean task at the moment.
I'm almost about to abort mission, but I've got the only way up is that chain. Yeah, this is freaking me out a little bit.
At last, he escaped the cave at dawn, and that's surely the first-hand experience he had to share with his friend. Although this guy has evidence of what happened to him in the cave, another enthusiast, Jake, wasn't fortunate enough to do so because what he discovered was even more scary. Jake Travis is well known for sharing his outdoor adventures on his YouTube channel, The Hoggett Project. His videos typically feature him exploring various camping spots throughout Washington, where he documents his hikes through dense forests, across creeks, and up steep hills. On August 12, 2024, Jake uploaded a new video showcasing his latest trip into a remote woodland area in Washington. What he encountered during this journey was far more unsettling than anything he had experienced before. The video began, as most of his adventures do, quietly and peacefully as he trekked through the forest, taking in the natural beauty around him.
Out here in the mountains, and I'm thinking of going up to the top there, having a look. If that doesn't work, back in here looks like it's flattening out. Made it to the top. It's a nice creek that comes through here.
As he searched for a suitable spot to set up camp, Jake struggled to find a flat area amidst the rugged terrain. After some time, he finally located a small clearing surrounded by trees, where he decided to pitch his tent. Once his camp was set up, he lit an incense stick, possibly as a way to create a sense of comfort in the unfamiliar surroundings, or perhaps to mask any unpleasant odors lingering in the woods.
This is a nice little level spot here to pitch a tent, and there's some trees to hang a tent. And we're just going to kind of explore the area, see what else is around here. There we go.
Jake's primary concern, however, was not the smell, but the bugs. The incense was meant to ward off the insects that plagued the area, a precaution he often took on his camping trips. Little did he know that the real threat lurking in the woods was far more terrifying than any insect.
Not so sure the incense worked. Scare off the bugs, but it does smell nice.
As the evening wore on, Jake gathered firewood to prepare for the night ahead. The sun had already set by the time he had collected enough, and he began to settle into his camp. While his camera was off, he heard a sudden, loud thud echo through the forest. At first, he wasn't too alarmed, assuming it was just an old tree falling in the distance. He brushed it off and continued his efforts to keep the bugs at bay.
I think I was recording earlier, but something made a heavy sound over there. Could have just been some old rotted logs settling. But up that way, a couple miles, there is a camp, but I don't think anybody's hiking this way back down. Anywho.
However, only moments later, another, even louder snapping sound pierced the quiet of the night. This time, the noise was much closer, and it sent a jolt of fear through Jake.
Keeps the bugs away.
With his heart pounding, Jake decided he couldn't ignore the sounds any longer. He needed to find out what was causing the disturbance. He cautiously stepped out of his tent, armed with a flashlight, and ventured into the darkness to investigate.
I didn't see any eyes glowing back, didn't see any movement, other than I did see a bat. But definitely that is not what made the loud noises. And all this, I probably shined the light on the forest for a good 3 to 4 solid minutes. Nothing.
In an audio excerpt, Jake later described the terrifying moment he discovered the source of the noise. His voice, trembling with fear, recounted how he had stumbled upon something so unexpected that it made his blood run cold.
And I thought I had pressed record, but it was not recording. But anywho, I've got my low beam on at this point. I think I see something small. Maybe it's like a raccoon or something right there by the water. And as I hit the high beam, this is when I see it. I see something standing there on the side of the road, pretending to be a statue. Whatever this was, decided it was just gonna freeze, and maybe I wouldn't think it was anything. But as I'm looking in that direction, I'm not even kidding, it looks like somebody dressed up in camo. And they've got their back slightly angled away. I'd say like at a 45 degree. They're standing there about 6 feet tall, looking like a human that I just caught that was probably sneaking up on me. That's all I can think. When I saw what it was, the human, and I kept the light on him for a good 20 solid seconds without saying anything. You know, the fear just kind of washed over me because I'm thinking, what's gonna happen? Call them out like, hey, what are you doing? And they're all camoed out. Maybe they'll just say, oh crap, he caught me, now I'm gonna shoot him. I mean, we're out in the middle of the woods. They say that people are the ones that fear.
In the haste and fear of the situation, Jake realized he hadn't pressed the record button when he had made the shocking discovery. He could only recount the experience afterward, but still, it isn't short of disturbing. Let's talk about a woman, Dee, the creator of the YouTube channel Dee's Dark Adventure, who embarked on a camping trip that would live up to her channel's ominous name. On January 26, 2024, she set out into the dense woods of Ohio, accompanied only by her 2 loyal dogs, who were free to roam without leashes. What started as a peaceful retreat into nature soon turned into a harrowing experience that left Dee questioning her decision to venture so far from civilization.
It's been raining here for about 4 days straight, and we finally got a break in the weather, so I figured I'd take the dogs and then get you guys a recording as well. Well, come on, baby, leave it, come. I'm not gonna be yelling at you this whole time. Anyway, you stay close, Mia. Look at this. Please don't get bitten. It smells like cucumber. Now, I don't like usually bringing these guys with me, but it's daytime, it's been raining, and they gotta get out, and I gotta get a video.
The early hours of her hike were filled with the usual challenges of managing 2 energetic dogs in the wild. The animals darted around, their instincts taking over as they chased after unseen critters. Dee struggled to keep them close, but unaware of the true danger that lurked in the woods. As Dee trudged through the thick undergrowth, a sound disturbed the wood, a sound so unnatural that it gave her serious concern. It was unlike anything she had ever heard before.
This way either, because I'm gonna take them right to the swamp. Oh, there's so much fog. That's all fog. All that white. Okay, normal forest, right? Little fog, lots of fog. It's creeping up in the woods.
And then a different but more weird sound let off. Dee could only calm herself so she could think of what's next. Maybe her dogs weren't aware of what's going on or not because they've scattered into the bush as if they're chasing something.
Okay. Yep. Oh, damn it, dude. Okay.
To couple it, the area where the loud, weird sound is coming from was filled with fog, whereas the other part of the forest had no fog. It was as if the wood itself was trying to conceal whatever lay within.
Why? There's no fog. None. But right there. Tons of fog. Just in that circle. Look at it. Woo. That is the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
Dee summoned courage and moved deeper into the woods, while saying it out loud to anyone that could be in the shrubs and in charge of those weird happenings that she didn't mean any harm, nor did her dog. But did the disturbing happening stop? No.
Airplane. I heard a bark, but I don't know if it's a dog or not. It sounded like a barking, like a rah, rah, rah. But not a dog. Oh, girls, stay close. Ma.
Suddenly, her dogs, typically bold and curious, made a move toward the fog. Their instincts told them to investigate, but Dee wasn't ready to let them face whatever lay within the thick mist.
Boy, don't leave me. I'm not going into that fog. They're leaving. Fine.
Dee managed to hold them from going into that, and at the same moment, the tragedy that might have befell them made another sound under the cloak of the fog. Then something moved in the fog in a way that defied explanation.
Something moving. Dog, can you please for a minute? Come. Stop. There's something. There's no fucking way, dude. Dogs, 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 dogs. Woo! Yeah. What the?
Was it human, an animal, or something else entirely? She didn't wait to find out because safety comes first.
Fuck, no! As dogs, let's go, now! We're leaving. 2. Oh my god. Come on. What is that? Woo. That thing was big. I don't care. Come on, dogs, we're leaving. I'm not.
She quickly escaped from the spot before things could turn sour. And while Dee escaped with her life, one can only imagine what horrors a camper might face in the dead of night, as uploaded on the YouTube channel Camper Vibe. Spending a night deep in the woods is one thing, but this camper took things to the next level by spending 48 hours alone at Daringwood, Pluckley, the most haunted place in the UK. This area has already been known as the most haunted village in England, with legend having it that 12 spirits haunt the area, including the Red Lady, a ghostly monk, a phantom highwayman, and a gypsy woman. Spending a night deep in the woods is daunting, but this camper took it to another level by spending 48 hours alone at Daringwood in Pluckley, the most haunted place in the UK. Pluckley is notorious as England's most haunted village, with legends claiming that 12 spirits roam the area, including the Red Lady, a ghostly monk, a phantom highwayman, and a gypsy woman.
After an unusually long festive break, the enforced and relentless social activity that is Christmas had taken its toll. I hit the road. 2 nights of solitude camping in the woods was what I was seeking, and I was hoping to find it here.
Anyone familiar with the village would know its eerie reputation, yet this woman ventured into the woods, determined to enjoy her time. However, her attempt at maintaining a carefree attitude quickly unraveled in the face of the unsettling events that followed.
This one, about the woods itself, is my personal favourite. It goes on to read: the ghost of a local highwayman robber who was captured, lynched and decapitated by angry villagers in the 18th century is said to wander the woodlands. However, The most terrifying stories about this woodland are undoubtedly the modern ones and do not involve ghosts, but disturbingly unexplained deaths, murders and disappearances. And I'm going to be staying here, alone, in a tent.
It began with a strange noise that caught her off guard. Though she initially dismissed it, her paranoia grew, knowing that something more could be lurking in the darkness. As she debated the source of the sounds, another odd noise came from close by. Although it turned out to be her lamp, the incident left her too shaken to stay put, leading her to wander anxiously around the woods.
Noises in these woods. Where's my spoon? It's getting cold. Ooh. Get that fire going, I think. Now the rain, I think the rain stopped. Or it stopped enough for a fire anyway. It sounds like kids screaming. That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big bean? What was that noise?
Her worst fear materialized around 2 a.m. when she realized she was no longer alone. Someone, or something, was also in the forest with her.
There's been a person or persons. What the fuck? I've never wanted the morning to come as much as I do right now.
If she learned anything from this experience, it's that being alone in the woods only amplifies fear, making every noise and shadow far more terrifying. However, there are some people who couldn't learn that lesson because their lives got thwarted before they could make changes. This is the story of Jeff Kessler's solo encounter in the woods. Jeff Kessler set out for what he assumed would be another routine solo camping trip in the dense, remote forests of Oregon. Little did Jeff know, this trip would be anything but ordinary. It might very well be the last thing he'd ever do.
Like the fucking flashlight. I can't see a goddamn thing outside this night vision. Jesus Christ. I don't know where the fuck I am. Fucking prick chased me off. Now I'm wandering the goddamn darkness. Shit.
A few days later, a search party came across Jeff's abandoned campsite. His belongings were scattered, but his camera was still intact. The footage on it was harrowing, to say the least. Jeff had captured his own descent into a nightmare. In the video, he trudged through the wilderness, his breath visible in the cold night air, mumbling to himself about being lost. The darkness was impenetrable, with only the narrow beam of his flashlight cutting through it. He kept muttering that he couldn't see anything, and that everything looked the same. But that was just the beginning of the horrors he was about to face. As he ventured deeper into the forest, the atmosphere grew even more oppressive. The trees, tall and gnarled, seemed to close in around him. Suddenly, Jeff's camera caught something that made his blood run cold. A tree with a bizarre, white, knot-like object embedded in its bark. The shape was almost organic, as if it had grown there deliberately. Jeff's breathing quickened, and he whispered frantically to the camera that he felt he was being watched. Jeff's voice, strained with fear, was the last thing the camera recorded before the screen cut to black. No sign of him was found, and to this day, Jeff Kessler remains missing.
Huh.